Welcome, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to share, I have a couple of I'm going to share my screen here. That is always the script that we start off on in any Zoom meeting presentation. The host is always like, all right, I'm going to announce every move I make and I'm going to share my screen right now. So anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us today. I know it is a little out of the norm from our Thursday private events. So we appreciate everybody sticking with us and joining us early on this Tuesday. As many of you know, Greenleaf Connect's mission has been really to be direct and informative. And these private Connect events are an opportunity for us to highlight certain aspects of the business and really allow us to have group discussions coming from all different sectors of Greenleaf. So it's a really cool 30-minute slot that we have to really dive into these discussions. And today specifically, we're going to be talking about the Employee Ownership Fund and doing a quarterly review of that. So to start off, as always, you do have the option to change your presentation view. You can use speaker spotlight view, or you can click and drag to make the presentation bigger or smaller. We do ask to mute yourself throughout the presentation just to avoid any feedback. And at the very end, like I said, we'll have that group discussion. You can use the raise your hand feature located at the bottom of your screen, and we'll kind of use that to facilitate it. But that's not necessarily law. You can feel free to jump in at any point. Okay, so I know it's been a while, so I'll refresh your memory here. We will have our employee lightning round to start. We'll dive into the Employee Ownership Fund. Then we'll discuss that we'll do that Q&A portion, and then we'll end with team member spotlights and upcoming dates, Greenleaf Connect schedule, things of that nature. Okay, so today for our lightning round, we have our new financial analyst, Duncan Whitehead, here with us. Duncan joined the Greenleaf team at the end of September and has been full steam ahead ever since. Duncan came in right as we were starting our third quarter investor reporting process. So we pretty much just threw him into the deep end of the pool right away, and he's been swimming laps ever since. So welcome, Duncan. So we'll start by having you tell us briefly why you decided to join Greenleaf.
Hey, Natalie, thank you for the introduction. Really why I decided to join Greenleaf for two reasons. The role seemed like a great fit given my experience while also providing room for growth. And then two, Greenleaf has a company culture that I really haven't seen anywhere else. I think I saw this early on. As soon as I joined, my first day, there was a mariachi band. I've gotten all these different, it was a great first day, you know, I've got to see all these different company events, all the software exposure I've gotten, the Greenleaf Foundation. I mean, it's been great so far. So I'm excited to see what's next in the future.
Awesome. Well, we're lucky to have you on our team. Okay, so now you're ready for the hard questions?
I'm ready for it.
Okay, first question. Do you have any friends taller than 6'4"?
I do not.
I asked that because you're pretty tall.
Don't associate with anyone taller than me. Got to be the tallest. I don't.
Next, did you go to sleepaway summer camp as a kid?
I did not.
Okay. If there was hair in your food at a restaurant, would you return it?
Ooh. It depends how much hair or what the hair looked like. If it could be moved off or if it's in one portion of the food, I'll eat the rest of it, but yeah.
Very polite. Okay. Who's your favorite Harry Potter character?
Ooh, it's got to be Harry Potter because he's the main character.
Okay. What's a place you'd be okay never visiting in your life?
Florida again. That's where I just moved from. So I'm glad to be out.
Okay. Say a word in Spanish.
Hola. I'm working on it.
Are reindeers real creatures?
No.
I looked this one up, just so you know. And they are real. They're part of the family. This is one I've always wanted to ask. What's the sound you would make if you were freezing cold?
Brrr.
What's your favorite Thanksgiving dish?
Sweet potato casserole. It's almost like a dessert, so it's good.
And last but not least, who inspires you?
My parents definitely. They both work long hours, so they provided for me. So definitely my heroes.
Awesome. Well, wonderful. Thank you so much, Duncan. We appreciate it. And again, welcome to the team. We're so lucky to have you.
Thank you all for the welcome.
Of course. We'll pitch it over to Dave for the presentation.
Our 5 solid slides. I don't know if that one counts. This first one here, but yeah, no, this is good. All right, so just to start off with, we always do this tiny pulse survey. Looks a little small in here, but we were at 4.4 this quarter. So when this goes out in tiny pulse, this is really what we use. Like, hey, are there any questions? What else can we clarify, or how can we make the ownership fund more available or comprehensive to everyone that's invested in it and everyone that works here? So a couple main points. The first one, every bonus this quarter got a double bonus. So they got cash paid out and they got cash in an employee ownership fund. So there wasn't an option to do one or the other. You just got both this quarter. Really, the reason behind that was a big push to achieve more goals in Q3. So we hit over 200 goals for the year, which is pretty awesome. That means everyone on average has at least 3 goals that they achieved this year. So that's very exciting. That's congratulations to every person. And the other part was there were some questions when people were awarded kind of the dual bonus, like, hey, why am I getting this payroll form? And the payroll form is what we use because when money goes into the employee ownership fund, we pay the taxes associated with it as a company instead of you paying them. So if you got a $500 bonus and that hit your payroll and you took the cash, that would have gotten you would have paid your taxes and get about $400. But if the money goes into the employee ownership fund, we actually pay about $600. So $500 as a whole goes into the employee ownership fund. So we pay up that tax part, and that's what the payroll withholdings and deductions forms are called. I'm not sure. It's called one of those 2 forms.
Yeah, it's
right?
a payroll deduction form.
Payroll deduction form. So that's what that form is, and that's why everybody got it. As we go into next quarter, we're going to keep doing this. So everybody's going to get payroll deduction forms next quarter as well, as we go through our goals. That's really going to be in January when we do our goal meetings, but that process will continue for next quarter too. So, all right, so let's look at the share payouts. So this is essentially what are we distributing each quarter from the employee ownership fund. Every quarter that we've done this, we've tried to improve the amount that we're able to distribute. We're getting we'll take it off here. There we go. All right, so we've got last year was $600 per quarter, and then when we got into 2021, we went up to $700 per quarter. This is really as we make more investments, we're able to realize that cash flow and make more distributions to each of the team members. So right now, all the new investments we've made are making distributions, and we're earning more than we're paying out. So the fund as a whole is gaining value, not only in the amount that it's able to send out to our team members, but in the value of each share. So our next slide here, this goes into what our share price looks like. And right now we're at $11.97 per unit per share. So that means the earlier shares you held, they're now worth about 20% more from 2 years ago till now. New shares, when they're awarded, are sent out at this new price of $11.97. But you can see that the only reason the share price goes up is because the employee ownership fund earns money from the properties. It receives those distributions, and then it pays out a portion of that to our team members. So we have what are known as retained earnings in the accounting world, and that drives up our share price. And you see it's the highest it's ever been right now at $11.97. We are expecting a very good fourth quarter. So we should see this increase more as well and make distributions. We look at 2022 going forwards, we're going to have probably even more distributions as we have more deals now. So the only recent acquisition that we got into, when we look at like how many deals are we into as a whole, we had one new investment, which was the Zaxby Kennesaw deal. So we invested into that one, and it was $5,000 that the fund put into that, and it's paying out from day one. So that's more revenue and ability to distribute more money to each team member because of that. Going forwards, we've been trying to slam in a couple deals between the end of the year here right now, and we have 4 deals that we're pretty confident we're going to be able to get done sooner rather than later. The first one being Lake Park. We have Covington Flex, which is out I-20 east of Atlanta, and we have a new Applebee's that Mr. Zipper has got for us. That'll be his 4th. He did one before he joined us, and then since joining Greenleaf, Andrew's done 3 more of these Applebee's, and they've. We were playing the TikTok song on our investor announcement the last time about one of the Applebee's. Andrew got up and did a little. He did a little dance. So it was pretty entertaining. And our last one is this Midtown Office Park, which is up in Chattanooga, and this is a big deal. It's about a $24 million deal. So we're excited about that one. So we're buying a bunch of stuff that's coming in hopefully soon. So, yeah. All righty, we're going to answer any questions we have on the ownership fund.
So we have a couple pre-submitted questions, but again, like Dominique said, you can under the reactions, you can raise your hand to ask additional questions live. The 2 that we have, so the first question, will goals be matched next quarter as well?
Yes, we're gonna do the same, essentially double bonus platform going to the end of Q4. So we're gonna keep that going for a little bit more.
And as Dave mentioned, every time you get a bonus for goal awards into the fund, you have to complete all the paperwork. So completing it once doesn't mean you don't have to do it again. So whatever you got this quarter, you're going to get it again the next time you achieve your goals. So next question, how can I put more money into the employee ownership fund?
So it's set up right now that any bonuses can be deferred and put into it. So if you got a bonus outside of the normal goal week, you can just tell your manager, but it's got to be before you're paid that bonus. They can defer that bonus and put it into the employee ownership fund. So that could be at any time for any bonus that you have. And the more that goes into that, the more distributions that you basically qualify for each quarter.
Great. Well, those are our pre-submitted questions. So feel free to unmute yourself or raise your hand and we can answer some questions live if you have any.
Or we'll just go back to Duncan and ask him more questions on anything. Who has a question for Duncan?
Fire away.
Actually, I have a question for Duncan. Remind me to never go out to eat with you, because you will not be an advocate of mine if I find her in my.
He'll be the one.
I was
like,
gonna say,
no, don't say
Florida
anything."
too. Florida's a good place to go to. I like Florida. I would have said like the North Pole or one of those places. Like, who wants to go someplace super cold?
I was trying to think of somewhere that I've been that I don't necessarily want to go back, and I've had 2 years of Florida, so that's
Oh, you were
enough
only
for a
there
while.
for 2 years?
I was there for 2 years. That was more than enough.
Stephanie, you got to show Duncan your video of the water tornado hurricane thing in Florida from your hotel room.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, that was crazy. A
What
water
part of-
spout, we see them all the time.
What part of Florida was that in?
I was in Panama City Beach. It was
Okay.
spring break. Yeah, it was crazy.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Cool.
I am a Florida girl though, Duncan. So,
Okay.
and I will go back. I go back every year. I can't leave that place.
More for I've started like the mountains a little bit more, so I've been
Mhm.
traveling north.
Mm-hmm. Nice. We're glad you're here.
Thank you. It's been a great time so far. I'm going on 6 weeks, but
Awesome.
it's been
Yeah.
fun.
Awesome.
Probably feels like a year already, Duncan.
It does feel a lot longer. So
We even threw Duncan into our investor calls, so he got to participate in all of those this quarter. Yeah.
Nice.
Fully.
Very
fully
good.
immersed.
Next, we just need to get you up on a roof with somebody.
all
That'll be
right,
like full immersement into what's going
full
on.
circle.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll
Cool.
stay online here for other questions if you guys have them, but we want to now dive into our team member spotlights. Dominique will share our presentation again. And this week, we want to recognize some of our events club members and other team members who assisted with our annual investor forum here at the station a few weeks ago. First, we have Dominique, who was our ringleader, and she kept us all in line, and she was in charge of all of our attendees and communication with them and all things marketing related for the event, including our oh so awesome name badges and agenda books. If you guys haven't seen those in person, you guys should stop by one of our offices and let us show you. We sat in a meeting and we Googled name badge ideas and found one that Facebook did, and we're like, we got to be able to do this. And she was able to pull it off, and it was amazing. Then we had Kat, who took care of all of our compliance related items, including the necessary permits for us to hold the event. We had to have 2 of them. She did all of our giveaways, swag and snacks, and also our sponsorships, which were really helpful. Leticia was in charge of all of our rentals and decorations to make the space as amazing as it was. If you guys haven't had a chance, over in building 6055, we still have some of our decorations up, like that screen that you see behind our picture there, which is really cool that we get to use again. And last but not least, Chastity headed up all of our venue selection, our scrumptious food and beverage for our 3-day event to make sure we were all fed and happy. And then we also want to give a shout out to those of you who helped with our furniture build. That was a task that we were dreading, but so many people pitched in to help that it was not a big problem at all. And then all of our prep and setup crew like Lisa, Leslie, and Sean. One of the things that we had to do was make sure we had working bathrooms. So we really appreciate the team helping to make sure that we could have that event go off without a hitch. And we cannot thank everyone enough for all of your help, and we look forward to next year's event. So we will now pass it over to Dominique to review our upcoming dates.
All righty. Oh, the little reactions button. Round of applause to everybody. Thank you so much. All right, we're really approaching here the holiday season. So tomorrow, a new Tiny Pulse question will be submitted. So this friendly reminder to answer last week's and also be on the lookout for this week's. November 22nd, we will have our monthly social hour hosted by the Capital Projects team.
It's going to be an interactive one. Definitely join us.
Yes, we're super excited about. And then it is Turkey Day next week, ladies and gentlemen. So November 25th through the November 26th, GLM will be closed. Regarding our Greenleaf Connect schedule, this kind of is a little fragmented for the holiday season. We did our Rosecroft refinance closing review not too long ago. Obviously, we went through the employee ownership fund today. And this Thursday, we do have a new deal. We invite you back to join our live stream on the Covington Flex opportunity hosted by Avi and Andrew. All right, everyone, this concludes our regularly scheduled program. We thank you for joining this afternoon on this lovely, lovely Tuesday. If you have any questions about anything that has come up or any more questions regarding the employee ownership fund, please do not hesitate to reach out. Well, that wraps up our day today. I hope everybody has a great and wonderful Tuesday.
If you haven't been outside yet today, go take a little walk. It's beautiful.